I'm back to react to Jimin's Like Crazy, which dropped in South Africa this morning at 6. It's now 2:30, so it's been a while because I had to wait for my editor slash cameraman to set up stuff. So it's been a real battle not to watch it until now. So we're going to do a reaction and then I'll just break it down a little bit and see what I picked up. Very excited. Let's see what Jimin has in store for us with the main track of his solo album. Well, that's more Jiminy than we had last time. What's on the floor? We're drinking lots and partying. Evidently, Jimin likes to be lifted over people's heads. As he should. What is up with the black goop? Okay. This is so different from Set Me Free, like polar opposites. He's so beautiful. Is his hair that long? That looks like a mullet. I'm not sure I'm a fan of, but... This music video is super trippy. Making me a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest. Whoa. I need to let that sink in for a minute. It's quite a sad song, really. I mean, he did say that he was writing this during the pandemic and that it was kind of a combination of his feelings that he had during the pandemic. So hopefully, and he hoped that people would be able to make a connection because we all kind of had similar feelings during that time. How I interpret it, the main theme here is loss of control. I think it's written as kind of a love song type thing, which BTS likes to do a lot. And if we listen to the whispers at the beginning, the male voice is kind of representing insecurities, and because he's saying he's afraid and so on, and then the female voice is confidence, saying you can trust me, you can be strong, come with me, and we go together, and so on. And then throughout, the lyrics are kind of like a back and forth between that. as to what would be the consequences if he stopped fighting, if he gave in to those feelings of insecurity. Then about halfway through, he does decide, okay, what if I were confident and I follow this female voice and this girl out into the world and try to be more confident, and that kind of leads up to then also Set Me Free. I don't know if in the set list they've fallen one behind each other or which comes first, where he's then the confident guy who's, you know, let go of his fears and has the strength to move forward. From a visual point of view, there's a lot going on. So I think at the beginning when it's zooming in and we're literally going into his eye, I think that could be just a representation of us going into his head, which again would reinforce the fact that it's not actually a love story we're talking about, it's just different feelings and they're being represented as male and female. And if you notice, every time he's at home sitting at that table, the light is very, very soft and everything that's very warm colors and kind of feels comfortable, which could represent as he has been insecure for so long that it's kind of become a comfort zone for him. But then it flickers and then there's that black goop all over the floor, which kind of maybe shows like the rotting emotions that kind of nag away at your mental health, which, I mean, I'm the boss of having those rotten little emotions coming through, so at least that's how the song resonated, or the visuals resonated with me. But then a female hand pulls him out of that, so that's where the confidence comes in and pulls him out of the house into the club. There again, very interesting, they did a lot with lighting in this video, because the light in the club itself is very blue and very cold, but every time he's in frame, his face is lit up very warm. So he kind of stands out at all times because he doesn't match the environment. And then there's the partying and the drinking, which obviously everybody could see as a different thing. It could be letting go, setting yourself free and to do whatever you want. Could be a cover-up. I mean, when we're feeling lonely and we're having bad thoughts, we tend to go and hang out with other people and let them kind of shut down the voices in our head. But then he's in the bathroom of that club and the black goop is like pouring out everywhere. So it's still, no matter if you go into a new environment, if those feelings are inside of you, they can still overpower no matter where you are. There's also, and we'll put a screenshot in it, there's a shameless Easter egg for Set Me Free where it's like tagged on the wall, which is quite funny, but I like it when they Easter egg their own songs. And then he goes home and you can see the black goop following his footprints. So he's still dragging that around, and in the end he has it on his hand and he swipes the camera away. So I think there's no real resolution towards the end of the song. I think maybe he needs to realize, and I still need to listen to the entire album, so I'm assuming there's songs in between that might be the extra steps for him to get to the Set Me Free part. And I think it's just about acceptance that maybe the ideal situation is a mix between the two of it's okay to have self-doubts, but it's okay to be confident, and you need to find the perfect relationship that they're representing there. If the relationship is to last, then maybe both parts of the relationship need to be just as strong and influence each other and balance each other out. Then, musically, very different to Set Me Free. No orchestrals in this whatsoever. I think it's a bit more mainstream. It's very odd beat. It's very like dreamlike. It's very soft in some ways, but then it also has kind of that clubby vibe because it has a strong bass line. It opens up with a soft guitar and whispered vocals, so it has a very soft opening, and then it builds up as he goes into the club. It kind of takes up that beat. Drums are very strong, very steady, kind of having a heartbeat kind of sounds throughout, and they don't really change that much. And then there's additions of a very strong bass, there are electric guitars in there, there are a whole bunch of filters on some of the instruments. I believe there's a piano in there that's been modified quite a bit. So there's nothing super like out of the box there in my opinion. It's a great song. I prefer Set Me Free. I think it's a little bit more dynamic. I think this is a bit more laid back. His voice is his own in this, which is great. And it does feel a little bit more like the Jimin we know. But maybe that's why I enjoyed Set Me Free so much, because it was a very different thing for him, and I like to see them branch out into stuff that they're not so comfortable with. So I'm very excited to listen to the other tracks on the album, which I will do off camera. And let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any theories. We got a lot of comments on the other video where people shared their thoughts, and it helps us to widen our picture of what we're seeing. So please pop comments below. If you like this, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.